Before we start today's video, I would like to let you all know that I started another channel, all for my gameplay and VODs. I will still stream on the main channel, but after the stream is concluded, it will end up on the other channel for you all to watch. That way, this channel does not end up cluttered with tons of gameplay videos and streams. So be sure to check that out after this video to see gameplay of me and my friends playing Breakwaters. Now, let's get into the review. Welcome to the Swamp, another ocean survival game. Yes, but we don't have to worry about sharks, and instead we have to worry about large titans that want to wreck your shit up. Prep the cannons and let down the sails as we dive into Breakwaters. My name is Excalligator. I rate games based on many categories that would fit into most survival games, based on a 1 to 5 system. If a category does not apply, it will not affect the game's overall score. Now let us get started. So I've put around 20 hours into this game, both between single player and multiplayer. I have slayed all 3 titans multiple times so far in this game, so I have a pretty good idea about it. Breakwaters is a game that, as you can see, uses realistic water physics for its ocean. It is the main draw and main feature. While you survive and build up between the various islands of the game, you also have wandering titans that roam the oceans, and it is your task to slay these titans and make the oceans calm once again. Theoretically, you can run this on an average computer build. However, due to the water physics, I would highly recommend playing this on an above average rig or something higher end for this game. With low to medium settings, my 3050 and 11th gen processor ran this between 40 and 60 frames, though your results may differ. Character creation is not that expansive. There is a bit of a selection to make your character, and similar to Valheim, you will be able to make characters on the main menu with your worlds being separate, so you could join any world on any character. Worlds can support up to several other players, so playing with your friends is possible, either on a hosted server or a dedicated one. I'm just gonna rate this a 3 out of 5. Not many choices, but I like the system of being able to choose your same character for different worlds. You have 3 different types of worlds to play: freeform survival, story mode, and creative mode. Creative mode is what you expect, while survival mode and story mode function roughly the same, though you are given a main story quest with the story mode obviously, where it helps incentivize you to hunt down the titans. Now with creative and survival, you can actually choose what island you want to start on and how big or small you want the island to be, which affects how fast you can progress in this game. Story mode, I think it always starts you off on a tropical island with limited resources, so you are slowly introduced to a few elements of the game, from yellow crystals which push away the water, to blue crystals that create water, and red crystals that anger enemies at night. There are also green crystals which create a safe zone so titans don't come near, but you learn about that later on. Starting off the game, you punch crabs, punch bushes, and make yourself your first workbench. Your primary tools and weapons you make from your crab parts from punching all the crabs, and you take off in progression. Just watch out for the wandering titans and tsunamis that they cause. The start of the game was very fun to experiment and play around with all the different functions, so I'm gonna rate it a 4 out of 5. I only wish that the questing mechanics was a bit more polished. The exploration is both a pro and a con. There are different types of ships you can build, some better for exploring while others are better for combat. Each world you make is procedural, so the islands won't always be the same. I will start off with what I like, and then what I don't like. The boat mechanics are a bit rough with the sail. It tries to mix Wind Waker and Valheim, only you can change the sail's direction to face where the wind blows and allow you to never be out of the wind's favor. Though it does mean that you do need to frequently hold shift and change direction of the sail. But eventually you can make an engine that feeds off of yellow crystals, so you can go whatever direction you want with greater speed. and the blue engine is the fastest, though the blue crystals are a bit more rare. I do love using the flying boat. It is slower than the blue engine and cannot fight enemies, but it's still really neat if you need to go somewhere quickly without using a lot of energy. Though the boat does use water for stamina, so while you're in the air, you will eventually have to come down, recover in the water, and then fly back up. You also have thermals to help boost your flying. There are small treasures that you can find in the ocean, both floating and sunken down. The floating ones you can simply just grab, while the sunken ones you do need the claw in order to grab it, just like in Wind Waker. Just watch out for the whirlpools that could trap you and destroy your boat. But not to worry, you can res your boat by paying the traveling merchant. By traveling, I mean you can summon him no matter where you are at any point in the game, at least once you unlock him. You can pay them for resources and for fast travel. You can unlock him early on, so it does kind of demean a lot of the progression, but I'll talk about that later. There are also pirate towers and ships that you could destroy for loot and lesser items. I actually don't like this part because the towers, sure, whatever, drop them some iron gear or some crab gear, which is good first and second tiered items. Sometimes they'll drop lesser resources as well, besides the metal sheets, which are very good for high-end building. But when you go to the larger pirate tower or even the fortress, the gear there is the same. In fact, you can clear them with iron gear, and you don't even need to be a high level to defeat all of them. I figured that I would have had to have aspired to reach to this area and would have needed better gear as a form of endgame progression, but no, every single pirate is like level 3 or 4 and take only a few hits to kill. Then you have the lack of island types. When you generate a world, maybe only a fifth or less of the tiles are actually resource islands. With that, there are only maybe 4 types of islands. You have tropical, pine, embercliff, or wait, you know what? That's actually it. You can sometimes find islands that are a mix of tropical and pine, so there you go, there's your 4th type of island. My biggest disappointment of the game is the fact that there's barely any content. If you've seen one island of a certain biome, you've seen them all. You don't have any reason to visit all of the islands. There are no puzzles, minus the ones on the first and the second island of the story mode. There are not a variety of enemies, except for maybe the blue crystal boars. But besides that, you have just normal boars, crabs, rats, and golems. That's it. You don't even have oceanic creatures. There are some fishing spots with salmon, but that's it. There's no sharks or anything similar. With the crystal mechanic that you were introduced to early on, I really wish the various islands had more puzzles to do. Using the water physics to traverse areas, the blue crystals and the pipe systems to fill up areas with water, and so much more. But instead, you are only really given one of each at the start of story mode, and that's it. Another negative thing is that what happens in this world is permanent, from trees and creatures not respawning to more serious things like the Titan cages and Titan bodies. Now, with the resources, I know for a fact that the trees and rocks will not respawn. I am not sure about plants and bushes, but a lot of them never came back after I harvested them, though some did. Same with creatures. Sometimes I noticed that they did come back, but eventually they never did, so I'm not too sure about those last couple of items, but I don't think they do. The felled titans falling down and creating new islands is a really neat idea, though I think that the fact that there are too many small islands scattered throughout the ocean only adds to the clutter. If there were more open areas that you could fill with the Titan bodies to make new islands, that would be a bit better. But the most egregious thing, I think, is the Titan cage. They remain there forever unless the Titans destroy them, but they might not even aggro to them, and maybe only destroy 1 or 2 of the pillars in order to escape, leaving the rest there to clutter your world. I don't know about you, but I really hate seeing a bunch of random stone pillars outside of my base now. I would have liked if it maybe after some time they would just crumble into the ocean, which also adds a hard limit for killing the Titan once the cage is summoned, beyond them just breaking it open. So yeah, there is a very good foundation here to build an amazing game, but it has nothing built on this foundation. So for that, I am going to rate the exploration a 2 out of 5.
boat. Hello? What the fuck? He's shooting at me again, motherfucker! You were walking away! Fuck you!
You have food and a water bar to keep filled. At times it feels like this meter drops a bit too fast, but the food is somewhat easy to find, especially eggs when you set up a bunch of chicken nests. For the progression curve of this game, it is another negative, unfortunately. When you first start off, the progression flow is very good, but as soon as you find metal ore or just a pine island, you have almost every single resource you could ever need, minus maybe the petrified wood. My personal playthrough, I took my time playing this game, but the one with my friends, we defeated all 3 titans and the pirate forts and towers within 2, maybe 3 hours of playtime. You can also get off the ground quickly on a brand new playthrough by purchasing iron from the trader with yellow crystals, which is the currency of the game. But when there are yellow crystals everywhere, I never had to worry about not having enough. I bought the best backpack in the game instead of making it. I also bought the best stuff instead of grinding for it. Your yellow crystals count will be so high that you literally will have to just burn it off in the yellow crystal engine and you'll still have a surplus. So yeah, the progression curve being out of whack, I'm gonna have to rate this a 2 out of 5. Of course, this will all be tweaked and fixed while in early access. Oi! He's
blowing up all my shit.
Yeah, he's destroying my plumbing.
Oh, I'm sorry that you can't have running water. My house and boat are in shambles.
All of the trees are gone! Guys, just back up away from him. Building is easy to get going, but there are some issues. There are 3 or 4 different building pieces. You have wood, redstone, greystone, and blackstone. The resources are limited, but you don't need as much to build what you want. My only issue is the stairs seeming not to have good snapping. Also, the stairs refuse to clip into the ground, so you might have a gap if you are trying to build a bit high up, which is beneficial to avoid high tide or titan tsunamis. But another issue were the roof corner pieces. There pretty much are no corner pieces, and the few that I assumed were corner pieces were actually something else that would cap into the corner, but it didn't actually cap or fill in the spot. So I had to make a flat roof in one playthrough, and the other playthrough I had sloped roofs on one side and flat in the front. I kind of had to work with it to, get it to work. Something that I did like though is that the crafting recipes from certain workbenches can be made remotely, at least within a certain distance. So for building your home, you don't need to keep running to the workbench, but to build other types of items you might need to be at the workbench. Now, when you build your base, it is recommended to build towards the center of your island or away from the beach, as the titans that roam by, they have a very high aggro and will destroy your island's resources as well as your base. They don't have exact pinpoint targeting, but the range is drastic. More on that in the next section. When building, keep in mind that buildings can retain water, so high waves and even rainfall can fill up enclosed spaces. Now, this part I wish to say, but it will not take away from the score. It was just a moment of personal disappointment. But with the water physics in this game, I tried twice on my 2 different playthroughs to make a water feature in my base. With one of them, I tried to make a waterfall by using multiple pumps, and I tried to make a moat on the other one. The moat worked for a time, but eventually the water dried up or either seeped out, so I had to keep the pump on constantly to keep the moat filled. With the waterfall, I had 2 or more pumps going down a cliffside to simulate a waterfall, and the water output was not strong enough to actually make a cascade. It more or less trickled down. I even tried making a reservoir to fill up and overflow, but it didn't work either. But regardless, I'm going to rate the building and crafting a 3.5 out of 5. I like the remote crafting, I like the quick building, but I don't like the scuffed building pieces like the corners and the stairs.
Fuck you! Am I getting him? I don't know.
You see damage numbers?
No.
Are we close? I'm going to use the Titan Conk.
Hit him. Oh, I'm hitting him. Look at him. No, no. Turn back. Turn back.
The combat in this game is garbage. There is a limited amount of enemy types, which I went through them earlier. There are giant golems, which kind of serve as mini-bosses, but once you get to steel weapons, you can kill them easily. Hell, I almost killed one of them with iron, and all of the pirates are weak, as I said before, with them all being like level 3 and 4. Even the 1 or 2 pirates that you might find with iron armor to serve as a mini-boss are quickly dispatched. I defeated the pirate fort and the pirate towers with iron and steel weapons, but just fighting them in general feels bad because of the controls. The movement of your character is very floaty, and can easily turn and face another direction to what you wanted. Plus, your attack is locked in, so you might miss a lot if you spam your attack button while trying to circle around the enemy. Using a sword is beneficial as it has a cleave, which has a wider range to attack, so there is less often a chance to miss. Be wary as a new player, as some islands, especially the starter islands, might start off with red crystals. Red crystals will make it so at night, an army of enemies will come at you. Imagine my surprise on my first night playing when an army of, I thought they were zombie chickens, started chasing me all over the island. I was freaked out and trying to run away because, again, I had just started. I didn't even have a weapon. There was no way I could take all of them on at once. And the next night, it was a bunch of rats. So yeah, it was kind of surprising, but also funny at the same time. Now, to the Titans themselves. They are really cool to fight, but they are also a bit too easy. The Turtle Titans, you are required to trap them, or they will run away from the fight when low health. You will notice that they have blue in their HP. The blue is a shield that can only be taken out with a blue crystal-styled weapon, most notably the charge cannon. Once the blue is gone, then you can damage them the rest of the way with normal weapons, mainly cannons. With the Serpent Titan, the requirement to fight them is the conch in order to rid the storm. The storm over the serpent will heal it if not dispelled. They also have blue and red health, though the majority of their health is blue, so the charge cannon is your way to go. You will have to watch out as the serpent fights back by sending water spouts at you that can spin you up and damage your boat. For these fights, it is recommended to keep a handful of boat repair kits on hand for quick fixes to your boat. It is instant cast, so you can simply spam the item to quickly recover. Fighting the Titan solo is a bit harder but possible. You will need to pilot your ship using either the blue or the yellow engine, unless you want the added challenge of a sail. Line up, slow down before you switch over to the cannon and fire. Now with friends, it is of course much easier as one can drive while the other shoots. One last point, so remember how I said that the Titans have blue health bars? There is only one other enemy in the world that has a blue bar. That is the blue crystal boars. There is a quest that teaches you this concept on the island with the village. The hunter gives you some blue crystal arrows to fight the boars, as it is the only way that they can be damaged. I really wish that there were more enemies that had specific ways of fighting them, like golems who are weak to the hammer weapon, but with the limited amount of enemy types, you only really have the one blue enemy, and I feel it's a waste. Why bother introducing the quest to kill these special types of enemies if there is only one type? This leads back to the issue with the exploration, where I feel that there just needs to be more types of islands, more types of biomes, dungeons, temples, what have you, but with having some of these special types of enemies that need certain methods to fight them. With that, my rating for this section is going to be a 3 out of 5. I liked fighting the Titans, I just wish they were a bit harder to fight. And with the other enemies, they're just boring with little variety.
I'm doing it! Shoot him!
Oh no.
Got him, I think.
What the fuck?
He needs one hit.
I got him. Don't worry about it. No. Miles, turn left, take the hit!
We got him.
He's still lasering. Is he dead? He doesn't look dead. He's still very much alive.
He's gonna fall on us! We are inside of him.
We clipped through!
I'm not going to rate this section as it is not a PvP style game. I'm only adding this section because you can friendly fire with your friends. It is set to default, and I didn't really see if there was a way to turn it off or not, but that's because we never really had issues with it. Plus, these servers are limited to, I think, 10 people, so you're not going to have massive roving crews of players killing you constantly. But if you wanted to have a mini battle royale with your friends, you can. You could destroy their boats, their buildings, and damage them as well. So, now you know. There is a bit of a story to this game with the Titans, but I feel that it wasn't really that fleshed out. But it's more so with the delivery method. You are really only given a few quests that tell you the next objective, and eventually to how to fight the Titans. It gives you some insight on the crystals and Titans, but I feel like it really wasn't enough to get a good grasp on the lore of this world. You can find side quests in the village, though most of them were easy, like one villager who asks you to bring them fish. Now you could go and fish them yourselves, or you could go to the fish vendor that's right next to them, buy the fish, and turn it in. The side quests sometimes give you items, but mostly they award you yellow crystals, which is not worth it in my opinion. I wish there were more than one village, and more types of quests that could branch out into different themes, like how the hunter taught you to kill the blue crystal boars, and more quests around the various islands or pirates. Hell, if a new type of island or puzzle are added, then maybe we could have quests to seek them out, and gather specific resources or specific items from these special islands or puzzles. Alas, I shall award this section a 3 out of 5. It is enough to keep you entertained, but I wish it was more.
Oh, fuck. Sit on the fucking trap!
Oh boy.
Whee! I do like how the laser stings.
It still hit him. I've pretty much already talked about everything that would have been in this section, so to keep it short and sweet, I'm just going to rate it a 2 out of 5 because of the progression curve being out of whack, that you can complete this game within a couple hours if you know what to do, the Titans being a bit too easy, the lack of enemy types, the fact that the world is empty beyond the first few islands, etc. I will say that there is one thing that I didn't get to do, but I know about it. By collecting all of the different trophies from the Turtle Titans, you can formulate a way in order to pilot your own Turtle Titan, which is neat. But it's only really if you want to, it's not mandatory, and it requires killing many Titans to do it. The activity of this game is also going to get a low score of 2 out of 5. I think there is only one developer, but I'm not quite too sure about that. Either way, the updates seem to be on the slower end. The few that I see are a single bug or UI fix. The content updates are far and few between, with them really only adding 1 or 2 new features or elements, like the most recent one which added the red crystals and the Turtle Titan controlling method. But before that, months ago, was the one that added the Serpent Titan. Now, supposedly, there's also going to be a Crab Titan later on, but there's no word on that. But also, this game has been in early access for 3 years. I joined the Discord to ask about a couple of issues that I had come across during my gameplay. He may have been busy during the time, which makes sense, but also the responses on there were a bit slow, especially when I compare it to other Discords, such as the Appalachia Ark Survival Ascended map, where the developer is constantly working on his map or his game, but he is still very responsive in the Discord, so that's quite a comparison. So yeah, semi-frequent communication, slow development updates. I'm gonna have to rate this a 2 out of 5. It's like going down and then going back up.
Don't see it.
You
Have it on my screen. It's literally just going. It's stuck on your screen, but it's like spinning up and down right there in the water.
That was the joke of the night.
Sure.
Just so I don't go on a huge long rant, allow me to simply list off issues that I've had. Turtle Titans can get stuck easily on terrain and will not get fixed with a reload. You will have to kill them, which is why you saw in my playthrough that I was having to fight 2 at once because they both got stuck next to each other. So yeah, that was fun having to kill 2 at once because they both got stuck and couldn't walk away from near my base. A lot of the visuals of this game can get bugged and only show on the client side of the host, so storms or lack of will not be the same on your friend's computer.
How do I do that even? I don't even know how to blow the conch.
I already did it.
Well, I know, but I wanted to go
Oh,
away
I can
on my...
shoot him with...
Oh, I can do it on my...
It is the same with the Titan's location.
What is
The
that?
other serpent.
There's only one serpent right now.
There's one on the map.
I see. Yeah, there is one on the map.
Yeah,
I
up
think I'm
far north.
It's
Far
where we
north?
spawn. Yeah, it's back where we
Oh, no.
spawn.
Oh, it's
Shit.
not on my map.
Yeah, it's on us.
You want to see if it's actually there?
As well as Titan deaths. He's right there. See him? You're about to crash into him. You're about to crash into him.
What are you talking
We
about?
don't see him.
We don't see him. He is totally gone.
Yeah, you just went through him on screen. We are going through
Yeah.
his body.
Yeah,
We are going through his body.
he's not here.
He is right.
Nick,
We are
this
literally
is such a
inside. I am
great-
recording.
Look
We
at
are
my
inside of him.
Look at my shared screen. Look at the shared screen.
Okay, go a little
Okay.
bit forward, forward.
Just tell me when to
Stop.
stop. He's flying. Look at him. Okay, I guess go for it. It's you. It's all you.
Look at all these blue
What's it?
crystals.
There he is, our fearless leader, jumping on the air.
I hope they make this game not broken, because it would be cool.
And the water physics can freak out and move in odd ways, which will cause a ton of frame drops.
What the fuck? What am I looking at? What am I looking at? Okay. There's a whole chunk of water missing.
There's something going on the inside here.
There is.
Yeah, I know. I
something.
think it might be a yellow crystal because at the Pirate Fort there was a big yellow crystal. Remember?
There's no yellow crystal. It's waiting. Is it? No.
I am sure that there is a lot more that I just cannot remember off the top of my head, but yeah, these alone made it kind of funky. Now, I'm gonna rate this a 2.5 out of 5. It was not unplayable, and in fact made for some funny moments with friends, but it shouldn't have these issues to begin with, which is why I'm rating it as such.
I've been playing too much Elite. I pressed E to go forward because that's what it is on the
Oh god, I'm
SOD.
stuck. Guys, you
Wait, where did you go? Oh,
you
you're.
ran me
he's
into
stuck.
the island.
What do you mean? Listen. I
stuck.
can't see your screen. I can't see your screen. I'm coming back for you.
Where are you?
Here,
Here.
He's
Come here.
gone.
Come here.
come over
No, I
this
see him.
way.
He's right there.
Is the Titan?
Well,
You're
I-
inside of the Titan. You gotta go
Oh,
over here.
okay. Okay. This game is just great.
It's amazing. It's
It's
a masterpiece, honestly.
It's a masterpiece, baby.
What would you rate this game?
I would rate it.
10 out of 10.
I would. I rate 8 out of 8. Great, mate.
Great, mate.
Yes.
My overall score for Breakwaters is going to be a 2.7 out of 5. I absolutely love the theme, love the Titans, the music, the water physics are really fun to play with, but the issue is that you have a great foundation with nothing built on it. There is so much potential to make this a very fun game that a lot of people could enjoy as a fantastic survival RPG with the water physics that most games don't have. But it's been 3 years in development and has had barely anything added since the launch. I'm going to keep my eye on this for any new developments and definitely play this more when more content is added. But for now, I recommend buying it when it is on sale. that is the end of this video. If you liked my review, please subscribe to this channel as I will be making more in-depth reviews of open-world sandbox survival RPG games, including those that no one ever talks about from the deepest, darkest depths of Steam. Some games that even look like the muck at the bottom of my pond. If you have any suggestions for what game to do next, please comment below and like this video. Florida Gator Man out.